YouTube faithful, what's going on? I got a quick video for you today. I'm shooting for probably 8 to 10 minutes. Why? Because I am late. The video is late. I got to get my head back into the code that I am building for Crushed Bats. It's almost ready for release, so I am fine tuning, and that just takes a while. Today we're going to discuss, it is Taco Tuesday, so NBA picks and MLB picks. What I ask of you to do, smash the like button and subscribe if you're not already. Now I gotta tell you, yesterday Tatum went over his points, big league, and he got hurt, unfortunately. Hopefully he's okay. And Brunson stayed under first half but went over in the first quarter by 2. That's gonna happen. But he also covered his assists. Jaylen Brown pushed. I mean, a lot of stuff was okay. A lot of stuff is gonna be like that. So what's the main takeaway? Jimmy Butler under 26.5 points was sweat free. Never forget that. The moral of the story is don't be afraid to take unders, and we are going to use that logic again today for NBA. But first, let's talk about MLB, because today MLB is going to be your Taco Ohtani. You can use the Taco method. You could take his over half a base with Halliburton's Goblin points if you want to do that, if you think Halliburton's good. But listen, regardless of the half a base Taco, I like Ohtani to get 1.5 bases today, 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. I like the matchup. Playing against Jeffrey Springs at home, I'm not really worried about him. I think Yarny can go yarn anytime he's on the mound, okay? Or anytime he's on the plate, I should say. He's not pitching anymore. I wonder if he will be soon. But his fantasy scores in play too, but I think the move today is honestly just bases and 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. It's very often where players will cover their 1.5 bases or hits, runs, RBIs and not get their fantasy score. It happens every single day, okay? But the easiest pair for a 2x combo, in my humble opinion, would be Dylan Cease 5.5 Ks. Honestly, this is the easiest pass to 2x that you're going to find. In fact, PrizePicks won't even give you a full 2x because they know. 1.9x, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. In fact, I had Dylan Cease earlier, 40.5 pitcher fantasy score, but I went with his Goblin at 5.5. I know he hasn't been as good this season, but 6 Ks versus the now worst. They've surpassed the Rockies in striking out, the worst strikeout team. It is the best matchup a man could have, and Cease, he has it in him. Just like I told you guys, Paul Skeens under 6.5 yesterday. Sometimes you got to go with your gut. And I think Dylan Cease, especially knowing that not a lot of people are on him today, these aren't popular plays, which I like it. Let them be scared of Dylan Cease. 6.5 would be pushing it. I don't think you should ask him to get 7 just for a little bit more equity. I think you should just be fine at the 1.9, and then you could max your Taco out with that and then possibly put in another hitter or maybe an NBA Goblin. But if you wanted to take the full line, I think asking for 9 is just too much. In fact, I know it's asking for too much. Can he get 9? Sure. In fact, in some simulation models, he will get 9. But I think it's optimal to take 5.5. I mean, this is the highest I would go would be 7.5. Asking him to get 8. And then even then, I think it's too much. 6.5 is the highest I would go, but I don't even care about the 2.25x. So right here, this is the move. We're going to run it in Crushed Bats, which is right here. If you haven't heard, this is my new model tool that I'm building, and it will be released for my Discord probably this week. Here it is. We have Dylan Cease. We can check the Vegas odds on him right out of the gate for the big 4. 7.5 is basically his line. You can see it's heavily juiced. His hits allowed is 3.5. His earned runs is 1.5. His walks, which has been his Achilles heel, over 1.5 is minus 200, and then his outs is 17.5. He's in an elite matchup, so he should be able to go the distance. Now, speaking of elite matchups, I have the synopsis for you right here. The Los Angeles Angels are easier to strike out, 9.8 per game. League average is 8.5 and less likely to get hits. Tell me when I'm telling lies, baby. No lies detected. Historical trends. We'll go to strikeouts so you can see. Cease started 6, 6, slumped down here all the way to his floor of 3, and then he spiked all the way back up to 9. Odds are he'll probably go back down to 7 or 8. You can use this trends tool so you can see it. His earned runs has been pretty flat at 2 and then 1. His average is going to be 1 to 2. You can take a look at his last 5 starts if you wanted to, with the data's here. And then here comes the meat and potatoes. We are going to put in his lines and run it 10,000 times. So let's put him at 7 Ks, 1.5 earned runs, 4.5 hits, and 1.5 walks, and we will run it 10,000 times. And as you can see from the simulations, he's simulating to get 8 strikeouts, which would mean he's going over 7 53% of the time. Now, would you take under 8? No, I don't recommend taking under 8 because you could see it's right here at 8, okay? His earned runs, 44% of the time he's going over 1.5. So I wouldn't take over, I wouldn't take under. As you can see, the recommendation is avoid. Then on his hits allowed, 4.5, he's going over 56% of the time, which I think that's pretty high given the matchup. And then walks, he's going over 1.5 walks 72% of the time. Folks, if we slide this down to 5.5, which is the line we want, you can see these adjust slightly because we are running a new iteration every time. They'll adjust, but not a lot. It's the same number, just variated. And you can see he goes over 5.5 Ks 79% of the time. That's where we're putting our coin. The weather is here. I account for everything. Weather, pressure, wind distance, everything you can imagine. It's all factored in. So Dylan C's 5.5 is where we're going. Again, this is my new tool, Crushed Bats, which is going to be available for all gold members in the Discord, which is $25 a month. Plus, you'll get my slips, access to the live stream, my daily prop list, which the daily prop list has been absolutely crushing. Yesterday, MLB was all but a sweep. I think we had Kikuchi hook and one other person hook. And then the next person I want to talk about today is Brandon Fat. Okay, his lines are 5.5 across the board, but look, they're plus money. 4.5 is his true line. You can use the historical tool if you want, all that stuff. I'm trying to rush through this video today. We're going to set his strikeout line to 5, his earned runs to 1.5, walks to 1.5, and run it. And you can see he's getting 5.8 strikeouts. Now, the strikeout line at 5, it's only 52% probability. So normally my recommendation would be to avoid. Earned runs would be to avoid. Hits allowed, you would take more at 4.5, which is only 56%. And then walks 39, you would take under 1.5 walks. But here, I'm actually looking at 4.5. By the way, Merrill Kelly yesterday, line was 4, same matchup. Easiest sweat-free square I've had this season. If you change it to 4.5, look at how much more equity we get. Now all of a sudden, he's going over 68% of the time, okay, for his strikeouts. So then we can go over here to PrizePicks, find Mr. Fat, and you can see his line 4.5 Goblin is right there. That would pay you a full 2x. Or if you get rid of Cease and just went there, it would pay you 2.5x. Okay, if you added Cease in at 5.5 and powered it, this makes no sense. Even though C should get that, you would not want to do this. This is where lineup building and game theory comes into play. Because why would you take it at 2.75 when you can just get it at 2.5 by just taking one or the other? Okay, so these are your options. Fat and Cease. Those are the pitchers that I'm going to talk about today. And then also, Max Fried is someone that I did want to discuss. He's not in an elite matchup by any stretch, but he is in a decent matchup. And I think that you could take him possibly combined with Mr. Wu because he's a coin respecter, but I'll leave that to the guys like Faceless who like to do that. My boy Max Fried has caused me so much grief today because when I am coding this, he has had a 2025 anomaly performance like none other. Ridiculous pitching outs, going the distance, a ridiculously low earned run rate, and all the while going the distance, like I said, and he's been getting Ks. So it's kind of hard to predict what this man is going to do in any given matchup because I do weigh 2024 starts because most of these pitchers have only started like 7 to 8 times so far in 2025. That's not a big enough data. So I rely on 2024 to fill the gaps. And when a guy like Max Fried comes in, he tends to break a lot of models. So I did end up getting it fixed, but I still have some other stuff to do, tweaks now because of it. But I do think you should have Max Fried on your radar. I think this combo has equity. Wu and Fried. I'm not too high on Wu today. I know a lot of people are because they love the Wu. She loved the Wu. But if I was going to take Fried today, it's 4.5 Ks, just like that. So my favorite 3 pitchers are here. And again, you have the range of outcomes to go. If you want to go high, if you want to go low, I explained it. You can build your lineup accordingly, okay? This would be 3.25x. Again, I don't think it's worth it. I think you would just go with Fat or somebody else or just Cease for the 2x. So those are the pitchers. I'm not going to go into the hitters on this channel, except for Ohtani. I like him other than his taco. I will be doing that on the live stream later today. And we will also be running some more pitchers with Crushed Bats and the Crushed Bats hitter section in the live stream, which is at 5:30 Central today. Now, if you want to get access to that tool, which is going to be released soon and not have to pay an increase, you go to CaptainCrush.net, the gold package. It's linked with Dub Club and my Discord. They go hand in glove. So you buy the gold package, that gives you access to the Dub Club, and then that is how you will get access to Crushed Bats hitters and pitchers, okay? So $24.99, and I do have a promo for you to try right now. It is promo code BATS, BATS, and it'll get you $10 off your first month. It's actually BATSS, okay? I'm pretty sure that's it. It'll be posted in post-production. New members, $10 off your first month. Give it a shot. After that, the current rate will go up, but people who are already subscribed will be grandfathered in. So make sure you sign up now because you're going to want to have access to these tools. They've been amazing. Ask people in the comments. We've been crushing MLB. But I also give you base projections like this for NBA and MLB. I give you a daily prop list and lineups as well. So let's go over to Parlay Play and see what we got. Okay, so what do they got for promos today? They got a lot of MLB stuff. We got Kodai, who's in an elite matchup versus my Pirates. Unfortunately, 5.5 Ks. I think you could take that. Is he going to land on 6? Possibly. I wouldn't be surprised if he sells, though. He's just that type of guy. But they do have Dylan Cease at 6.5 boosted here if you want. And then they have Alexander's PRA. Listen, we're going to talk about some NBA over here on Parlay Play. Now, the boost up with Alexander could be good. I will say this. I'm not afraid to take unders in the playoffs anymore. But yo, Donnie just had that bad game. I think you can go right back to him. 24.5 points for Donovan Mitchell. I think it's an overcorrection by the books. He's been dropping 30 plus. I absolutely think 24.5 points for Donnie is good. You can pair it with the Alexander boost. He's at home. But honestly, Alexander at 32.5 points even at home, I really do think he can go under 32.5 points, but you can only get that on PrizePicks, which they lowered it all the way to 31. It was 32.5, and I took under on it earlier, but last night it's now 31. That's called value, folks. Value town. But let's see what PrizePicks pays with this. 2.25x, not bad. It's going to be close, but these games have been way more defensive, so I'm probably not even going to mess with his PRA. In fact, I like Alexander's assist. He hooked me last time, but he's been coming so close in every game, if not cashing. So 6.5 is solid, but 5.5 is elite. He should be getting 6 assists today, and this will also give you 2x. In addition to that, his RA at 11.5 also pays 2x. It's also good. And if you were to take this right here on Parlay Play, it pays exactly 2x. And I'm going to lock this in right here. 50 to win, 107. Well, they're limiting me on a boosted entry to 20, so I got to do 20 to win 42.75. That's fine with me. I put that in there. I do like that lineup. I will go back to Yo Donnie. I think his points at 24.5 is a good payout. We know what he's capable of. I know he had some sort of injury or whatever. If you want to take his PRA at 34.5, I think that's a decent line too. You know he's capable of it. I know Garland's there, but whatever, they have to win. If not, do not anchor Donnie by any means. But shy at 5.5 dimes, man. I'm not getting off of it. Unfortunately, it only pays 1.12 on Parlay Play. I wish it paid more, but it doesn't. It is what it is. And then Jokic's rebounds. It's like, guys, I'm just taking the same lines I always take. Joker under 28.5 points on PrizePicks. Over 11.5 or 12.5 rebounds on Parlay Play. What does this pay? 1.69. We would need one more square. Nemhard, 5 assists. I take that every time. They have him at 4.5 here. That would take me up to 2.4. And then we can add in some MLB. Dylan Cease, 5.5, Fat all the way down to 3.5 if I needed to, but I won't even need him. This gets me basically 3x. For some reason, they're showing that I already use Cease. Again, it's a website glitch, but it's fine, guys. This is what I'm going with, and there it is. $250 to win 635. Alexander's assist, Goblin, Nemhard, 4.5, Yarny, half a hit, and Joker, 11.5 rebounds. I went for it. I don't care. You want to tail? Tail. If you want to fade, fade. I loaded up. I'm ready to do the dance. Promo code CRUSH. You'll get 30 days of the Discord. Get those tools grandfathered in, and you get a deposit match. Lock in. Tail or fade. I told you I was making nukes on Parlay Play. I wasn't kidding. You can use those boosts. You can mix and match. You can take one or two. My least favorite is Nemhard. He's the one that I could see selling. So I will make another one with Joker, Ohtani, and Alexander. And then we go back to Parlay Play. PrizePicks. And you can see right here, I'd be looking at Jokic less 28.5 points. If they have it up here, yes. I would be taking that right there. Not necessarily with the taco, but definitely taking under right there. You can take Alexander 5.5 assists if you wanted to. You could do that. You could take Joker's rebounds over here. Or if you want a full one with no gobbies, let me see if I can get you a full one with no gobbies real quick. Let me cook. 1.5 bases for Yarny, less on Joker. Joker's going to be a sweat, okay? Because he knows if they lose this game, they're done. So you know what you're getting into, comment guy. Spare me. We can't take Cease at 8. It's too high, I'm afraid. But what about his pitching outs? Do they have pitching outs for him? Oh, they do. It's a goblin, though, unfortunately. But that's a good one. He should be able to go 6 innings versus the Angels. But I told you no goblins for this lineup, so we'll keep looking. What is Nemhard at? He's probably got push equity here, but we're under MLB. We'll take fat, push equity, go back to the NBA. Aaron Gordon, man. Every time I fade him, he goes yard. I'm taking his fantasy score today, and he better clutch up because I've been fading him, and he's been cashing. Aaron Gordon, don't let me down today, brother. Do not let me down today, I beg of thee. I'm taking you to get 30.5 fantasy score. I think this would be the move. You don't want to sweat unders? Fine. Take Joker out and go lock in on his rebounds at 11.5. There you go. You want more equity? Throw in Cease at 5.5 because it's hitting. There it is. That would be 8x. Okay, right there. So like I said, short and sweet video. I got to get back into the code. I'm going to run some pitchers and hitters for you guys today on the live stream. Make sure you're there, 5:30 Central. Remember, this tool's coming out soon. If you want to get in, you got to get in the Dub Club. CaptainCrush.net, gold package, promo code BATS. We'll get you in before the price increase. I do appreciate you watching. Here's the salute. Good luck in all your contests. And as always, my brothers and sisters in Christ, let's crush.